Hey y'all, what's going on, honey? Can we talk about the Braxtons real quick, just a little piece? Because the episode came on last week, and I did watch it, and it was all right. It was all right. They got a few things that I want to talk about. First of all, y'all know Ashlee, right? The daughter of their brother. She did do the podcast with Tamar, right? She did the podcast with Tamar, and Tamar asked her why did she decide to share her story on social media. If you ask me, some part of me feel like Ashley just wanted to air you bitches out, honestly. Okay, I think that Ashley did kind of want to get it off her chest and air y'all ass out. She probably didn't like how y'all was showing up with her cousin last season and decided to put that tea out there, right? But Ashley says that she did it because she wanted to use her story to encourage other people to, share their story and get that up off you. All right. And just, get to a place where you feel comfortable talking about things so that you can move past it, right? Now, Tamar says that she was feeling heavy about this because she wanted to help her cousin Ashley, but she also knows that Ashley has to do this on her own because this is Ashley's own journey, right? But she does apologize to her niece, letting her know that she was sorry that she wasn't in that same place. She wasn't in that same place herself to where she was healed enough to even help Ashley, right? So she had her own stuff going on. So she kind of like apologized to her about that. And that's pretty much what all is going on. And I want to tap into something that I just came across over here on the internet. Okay. So people that don't know, all right. There were some things that happened to where I believe inappropriate conversations were happening between Ashley Braxton and allegedly her aunt Trina Braxton's husband. All right. There was like some type of exchange and yeah, just like I think it was like via text or whatever the case was. Whatever it was, all right, it didn't make her feel comfortable. Trina didn't feel comfortable. Y'all can go and research and look up the old videos or whatnot, right? So Tamar decides to come down to the social media to say a few things to get off her chest as it pertains to this situation regarding Gabe. Now, Gabe is not here to defend himself at this time. I mean, who's to say he would have a defense? I don't know. But, Gabe passed away a few years ago. So let's get into what Tamar had to say real quick. So over here on the Instagram, shout out to our friends over there at Reality Chat, honey. They captured this comment by Tamar. This is what Tamar says. No shade to nobody, but okay. If I knew what all I know now, I would have aired Gabe's ass out like I would have normally. I believe this. I do believe this, okay? If she knew more, I think that she would have probably aired his ass out. Possibly. Or I'll say this, if she didn't air him out, Tamar definitely would have hinted at some stuff for sure. Part of the reason why her sisters don't be liking her, right? Because I feel like Tamar don't always keep things under wraps like they like to. They like to portray a particular image, like everything is perfect, everything is good. And I understand sometimes we may feel like may be unhinged, Tamar may do too much and stuff, but I don't think Tamar be wrong about everything. Because when, like I told y'all, when it comes down to that whole family sit down they finna have, and she finna come at Tony Braxton and call her out, I believe Tamar was telling the truth in this situation, and I felt like Tony Braxton was overacting. And we'll talk about it once the episode comes, but I feel like Tony Braxton, in my personal, was overacting to overshadow what it is that she said. But my perspective on that may change, but I do feel like Tamar probably would have hinted at some stuff and slick called Gabe's out, because I don't think that they really respected Gabe for real, because even outside of the situation with Ashlee, Gabe was a cheating ass. Gabe used to cheat on Trina, had take Trina down through there, emotionally and shit. So the family really didn't like the fact that she got back with him. I don't even think her dad liked the fact that she remarried. I think she ended up remarrying Gabe or something like that. Yeah, like girl, I'm supposed to like that man for real. But anyway, let's keep going. So she goes on to say, but all this was kept from me till Ashley spoke up so that I wouldn't, basically. Okay. So she's saying if I would have known everything, I would have been aired it out like I would have normally. But all of this information was kept away from me. Okay. So I couldn't do that. All right. She says, I'm pissed that I didn't get that opportunity. This season has made me ridiculously traumatized and triggered. So fair warning. She says, if I become more provoked, I'm gonna get to the other conversation. Y'all listen. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this. When I hear this, I question. Remember, Tamar talks about how something happened to her when she was younger. And now for me, I question. I don't know who did what, if anybody, I don't know if it was, but I will just say this. Should anything have happened to her, y'all do know that men are not the only ones that violate young girls and women. Okay? Women have done things too. All right? So I don't know who the finger pointing is gonna go to. I haven't even read this is my first time reading it with y'all. It's just that little piece right here for me that says if I become more provoked, I'm gonna get to the other conversation. But I'm gonna stop here for now. When I see that and knowing that you were traumatized and triggered, it's definitely given for me. There's a family secret within that house that she is keeping to herself. I don't know what it's about, but I mean, I can only one can only assume that whatever she would let out would be about the individuals that are filming this show. And I'm just, y'all can put whatever two and two together that y'all want, like I'm putting together, and I'm just like, huh? Because now I'm going back to things that Tamar has talked about when she was younger and things that happened to her. And then I'm like that would be fucking, I can't. This is a lot. I just want the Braxton family to go heal for real. That I just, I thought the passing of Tracy would have brought them to closer together. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. That's not the case for everybody. Everybody don't come close together after somebody passed away. This, if anything, they go further apart. Cause some people feel like you was exactly the BIT I thought that you was, and I'm gonna stay over here with it. That's crazy. Whew, let's keep going. So she says, but I'm gonna stop here for now. This is why I was scared and didn't want to promote because I don't want to say nothing. But family secrets is real, and it will F you and your life up. It did it for me. And now that I'm healing and healing, I can't help but to help other people who grew up like me. Enough is enough. At some point, you have to do the right thing and show up for your younger self and other people who are hurting from other people's bullshit. So watch the damn show and please try and fix y'all fucked up families like I'm trying to do. I still love them though. Woo. So listen, I'm not insinuating because I don't know what's going on in the Braxton's household or whatever, or what took place when they was younger. But Tamar saying if I become more provoked, I'm gonna get to the other conversation. Because this season has made me ridiculously traumatized and triggered. So fair warning. Girl, I don't know. Maybe the other conversation she gonna get into is the fact that somebody sent her a cease and desist. Maybe that's the part that she want to talk about. Maybe she don't want to talk about things that happened when she was younger. Maybe it's something that's recent. But that is what Tamar is saying. Girl, this is a mess here. This is a mess here. Let's keep going with the episode, right? Get into more that happened on the episode because that's just a piece of it. Now, I'll say this, after Tamar has utilized Ashlee to come on the show to kind of hint at her story, because she didn't really go into detail for real, I don't think, about her story. If you've been watching the blogs like earlier this year, the end of last year, you kind of know what is going on. And honestly, she's been talking about it for much longer than what she has, right? So as far as Ashlee, yeah, Ashlee's been talking about it for a long time. So I'm not sure if they're gonna keep her on the show any longer or if they just utilize her for that point. I'm wondering if there's gonna be a conversation, an actual sit down that Ashlee will be having with Trina, considering the fact that this is something Trina wanted. Like, why you just didn't come to me? It may be something that Trina doesn't want to have on the show, because she also said that too. Trina was like, I just feel like some conversations could have been had between her, the two people, and not get the public involved, because then their opinions get in there and all of that, and it can make things difficult. So I do understand that. So I'm like, are we gonna see a sit down between these two, or are they gonna keep that privately? Right? I'm feeling like that past episode is going to be the only episode we see of Ashlee, and then we're just gonna move into some other things, right? But y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. Now, Towanda is getting married, so she's about to have this bachelorette party. Of course, Toni Braxton can't come because Toni stayed booked and busy, honey. Tamar is booked as well, but she is thinking about how she can be there. She just don't want to go down there by herself, right? She wants to have her own emotional support. but the person she wants to come with her don't really want to go with her. Okay, so she's just like, damn, I need to figure this out then, because I ain't trying to really be down there by myself for real. So what I'm gonna do? Okay, because I like my sisters, or at least I love my sisters, but I can't be around them just for a long period of time, because then stuff gonna get mixed up, and then they're gonna start blaming shit on me like it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't got time for that, right? So that's what's going on. Unfortunately for Towanda, she did end up getting in a accident, right? She was leaving out of the airport after dropping Sean, and somebody hit her with a car. So that kind of banged her up a little bit. She lost a tooth, her face was completely swollen. I think she may have broke her arm or hurt her arm. I think that arm was broke. Don't quote me though, but I know she has to get like a cast or either get surgery for it. So she decided to go with the cast, and she's still planning to go forward with her Bachelorette, activities and stuff. I will say that Trina wasn't sure though if Tamar was actually going to come down to the Bachelorette party because of that cease and desist. That's what really pissed her off. Right. So she's like, I don't know. She didn't got this cease and desist. So she might not come. She might not want to fuck with us. Right. And I kind of feel like if Tamar did not want to go because y'all sent that cease and desist, in all honesty, I don't think nothing wrong with that if she don't want to go to the damn Bachelorette party. But you sent me a cease and desist. I'm finna cease and fucking desist. Like, what you talking about? I'm not going. How about that? So, anywho, um, they get down there. Tamar is really, so of course they're getting ready to head down, but Tamar is still back. She's held back. She's trying to figure out if she's gonna go to Tulum, if she's gonna support her sister, what the case is going to be, right? Tamar says that Towanda only calls her though. Okay, she said she only called me when the show is filming. She don't really rock with me any other time, and I don't even know if I'm going to her wedding because that's the weekend of my birthday. So, and really, I feel like if you were a person that Tamar respected, in my personal, and I could be wrong, but it's my opinion. I feel like if you were a person that Tamar really respected and cared for, even if it was on her birthday weekend, I feel like she would show up. I feel like she would show up. But I do think Tamar is still upset about the cease and desist. And then we also learned that there is a little bit more as to why Tamar is upset. So she said she got a text message from Towanda, right? And she thought Towanda was going to ask her to be a bridesmaid. Well, Towanda actually asked her to be a maid of honor. I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. She said, but shortly after getting that, the text of asking her to be a maid of honor, she said, yeah, I'd love to be a maid of honor. She said she ended up getting a text about the Tulum, or getting an invitation about going to Tulum to celebrate Towanda. And she's like, wait a minute. If I'm supposed to be the maid of honor, aren't I supposed to be close enough to you to help you plan this stuff? So you want me to be the maid of honor and you didn't even ask me? You didn't even ask me to coordinate with this person to do something big for you? Like, what's the real reason you really want me in your wedding? For numbers? Is that what it is? Like, huh? And I'm like, well, maybe Trina decided to do it all. Maybe Trina was the matron of honor. And with Trina being the matron of honor, maybe they wanted to put all that pressure on Trina because Trina may be more flexible than you. And clearly Tony as well. So maybe it was that. I don't know. But Tamar didn't like that. Right. So that's what's going on. And then I think the other conversation was more so just wondering, did you really invite her or ask her to be a maid of honor as a way to make sure that she shows up to your wedding? Right? Like, maybe if I give her this maid of honor role, but you really could have gave her bridesmaid too. But you gave her this maid of honor role, and maybe that was your way of trying to make sure that she shows up because that's during her birthday week. I don't know. So anywho, Towanda talks about how she's missing Tracy because she feels like Tracy would have been loving and supportive to her in this moment. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure Tracy would have loved you, but I don't know if Tracy would have been loving to you in this moment. Not after how you did her husband last season and exploited her son last season. I don't know if Tracy would have been supportive of you. Now, granted, if Tracy was here on the show, then y'all wouldn't have had the need to have that issue with the husband and the son, last season, right? So, but even with that, like, I just don't know, because she stayed getting into it with Towanda. Like, then at one point she called Towanda a snake. Now, granted, I know you're gonna love your siblings and stuff, right? I get that. Y'all gonna love y'all siblings and all of that. But I don't know. Like, you love Tamar loves you, but Tamar also sleep don't fuck with you and you don't fuck with Tamar. So I just kind of feel like, you sure Tracy would have been like all in and supportive, I think Tracy would have put her feelings to the side as she often has and shown up for you and had a good time. So maybe she would have been a bit supportive. Would she have been extra loving on you? I don't know. I don't know about that. And then I could have sworn Tracy used to get into it with Sean. So I'm like, I could be tripping now. Y'all remind me down in the comments, but I could have sworn Tracy used to be on y'all ass. So you really think that Tracy was gonna show up and be all happy? I guess y'all let me know. Anywho, so she talks about being disappointed with her sisters because none of them are really showing up for her, right? And Towanda says Tamar made the decision on her own to not support her or show up to her wedding, so she didn't like that. And she do let Trina know. She lets Trina them know, like, I expected my bio sisters to really be here for me, and I feel like I'm an afterthought in a sense, right? So she talks about that. And of course, like Tony called her or whatever, and she felt like because Tony was trying to figure out how she could fit something, I guess like going to the bridal party or something like that, the bridal shower. Wanda felt like, oh, I just feel like you're trying to fit me in. Basically, not feeling like she's a priority, basically, to her sisters. She feels like she's just like an afterthought. So she in her feelings a little bit. But then also, Tawanda, I think you in your feelings because you're injured and you can't really enjoy yourself how you really, really want to enjoy yourself as well. I understand you wanting your sisters there, but shout out to all the people that did show up and gave you a lot of love, right? So, later on, right, we see her later on. She says that she's on the beach and she's like, oh, I can't be worried about Tamar and Tony not being here because, I just want to be happy at the end of the day. So it's all good. Now, Tamar was asking about, she was asked about why she didn't go. And she says, well, I was going to go. I actually had my ticket, but I was told, right, that Tawanda did not want me here. She told me not to come. So she's over there talking to the producer, and she said, matter of fact, it was your ass that said it, OG. So what the fuck going on? And OG said, well, Tawanda did say something. You know what I'm saying? I told her that you was trying to come for the most part, but Tawanda was like, nah, like she wasn't trying to do shit. She wasn't trying to come. And matter of fact, I'm glad that she didn't come because I would have messed everything up anyway. I said, damn, well, if you feel like your sister would have messed everything up anyway, why would you send your sister a text and ask her to be your maid of honor if you feel like she was going to fuck the shit up? Like, what? Damn. Okay. So if you felt that way that she would have just messed everything up anyway, then that makes sense as to why y'all did not include her in your plans to go to Tulum. And Tony ain't had no desire on going to that shit. No way, because she kept thinking that your ass was going to what she thought she was going to Mexico or something. I mean, not Mexico, but Hawaii or something. She kept saying somewhere else. And she like, girl, I'm not going there. Like, what are you talking about? I'm going to Tulum. You saying everywhere but where I'm going. So I'm like, girl, Tony ass wasn't trying to go for real, no way. Right? But you ain't that mad at Tony, but you do feel a way. You feel slightly, but it seemed like you more mad with Tamar. She would have messed everything up anyway. Okay, so y'all let me know y'all thoughts on that. Another thing with Tamar, Tamar had an issue with her photo shoot. She did a photo shoot. She was having an issue. Seemed like her assistant dropped the ball. So she's getting her nails done. They're having another talk, and this assistant dropped the ball again in another situation. I say, yo, this assistant is really just enjoying the perks of being around a celebrity and the hype of it all. Just to say, I work for Tamar. I work for Tamar. I work for Tamar. But you over here dropping a damn ball. Like, you do know that Tamar is a business, right? You do know that that is the one that's bringing in the money that also has to pay you and others. Like, handle her business affairs accordingly. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't think Tamar was stern enough with his ass. I think she was trying to be very kind and nice, you know what I'm saying? On some, we got to make sure we do this and that because if not, it's going to look like we ain't got our stuff in order. I'm not going to keep playing with your ass, okay? So I think that she should have put her foot down a little bit more and grabbed them drawers a little more tighter, and then maybe that ass will get it in order. Okay. I don't know. You're a little too passive. That's why his ass over there passing up on opportunities and not forwarding your ass emails and stuff that you're supposed to have and notifying you. But anyway, child, that's what they got going on, right? Trina. Bachelorette event, Trina dips away. They can't find Trina in the room. And I was a little confused because Sean said he went to urgent care. And I'm like, Sean, baby, from urgent care, did they rush you to the emergency room? or what. But maybe urgent care for him, because when I think of urgent care, I think of like the little clinics that you ain't trying to wait all day for real. They may close at midnight or something. You know, I'm thinking that that's where he went. But sometimes with the emergency on the hospital, it'll say emergency urgent care. So maybe that's what he was saying when he said urgent care. He probably went to the emergency room too, all in one. So when he went there, what he learned was that the doctors were trying to tell him that he has heart failure, and I'm like, what? So it was like something like that, like heart failure. So I don't know what, I don't know, but that sounds real bad. So at that point, she like, I'm finna go. Fuck all this. Okay, I need to get on a flight. Like, you thought you was upset with your sisters. You finna be upset with Trina too. But I do feel like, for me, I understand why Trina's trying to get back to go and check on her husband. Right? Once you hear that, so she's like, I'm finna go. All right, this girl got enough people here to show her love and stuff like that. Girl, I'm finna go check on my husband, make sure everything is good. All right, so that's what the Braxtons got going on so far. Tamar came to the front with his comment, and I don't know if Tamar gonna be at the wedding or not. We're gonna have to wait and see. Towanda feels like Tamar gonna fuck up everything, but you still wanted her to be a maid of honor, make it make sense. Still, you feel like she was gonna fuck everything up, but you still invited her and wanted her to come to the damn Bachelorette party. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell going on no more. But I'm gonna let y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below, child, because there's too much going on over there, child. And I'm sure a lot of the family issues we see with the Braxtons exist in a lot of families. It's just that theirs is televised, but it just seemed like, and because we see it so much. I mean, of course, we had years of watching them, then they went off for a second, now they coming back, and it's just like, damn, y'all got so much unresolved stuff going on, child. Prayers to everybody, honey. I'll catch y'all in the next one, child. Okay? Bye, honey.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cash died at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim, on a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasted film.